Right, so one of the things the cameras are very good, there are some things they can't do or aren't the best tool for the job. So talk about some things you could do or could buy. So currently, I guess, in terms of buying digital equipment, the obvious choice, you've got A7S, there might be an A7S Mark II soon, so that will give you the low light, the video, you've also got the small size still, and there's also a certain aesthetic to the A7S files, I think. Not as strong as the merril aesthetic in terms of its difference from the norm, but there is something about them, people say. So that's a good one. Fisheye. There isn't really a fisheye lens, add-on lens, that's really good optically and affordable as far as I know. So the other option is, it's a long, slightly scabby because it's a second hand, a lomography fisheye, which is very light, has a flash, it's fun to use, there's no focus, takes 35mm film and a AA battery for the flash. It has there's no control. I think the shutter speed is fixed, I think, and you manual wind, but it is actually quite fun to use. You wouldn't think so, but and it also comes with a hand strap, and you can get it in funky colours. I would suggest not buying it new because lomography charge about 3 times too much, in my opinion, for nearly everything they'd sell. I haven't got another camera, so I'm using my SLR to record this. But I suggest one setup I use quite often is to have a Sigma around my neck and to have my SLR on a sling strap, which does work quite well. There was one small problem which my dad found, which I hadn't realised because I was already transitioned to this solution for another reason. If you have the short cord, what happens is as you lift your SLR sling camera, if you're using an optic sling strap in particular, because of the way they mount, you're lifting the strap up. You kind of, whereas the black rapid style with the attaching to the bottom of the camera, you don't get this so much, but what you'd end up with was, I guess you call it like strap face, especially if you shot in portrait mode. You'd get the strap rubbing against your face, quite annoying. But the solution to that, this isn't quite the solution I'm using, but same principle. If you have a longer strap on the camera, so I'm still attaching to the same point you would use, which is the right hand strap lug, and remove it, kind of pointless, plus the strap attached to this camera. I'm using the 3/8 webbing, it's smaller. This is just what I had laying about. That gives you the slack, so you get all that length you can move before you're pulling up on the strap. So I have told Optic about this and they were impressed. I don't know whether it's going to be incorporated into any future products or not, because it's quite simple. And the end result is you probably just have your sling strap, this loop, a bit shorter than you would have had before, but it stops you getting strap face. And also, if you have a camera around your neck and down your front, as you would with a normal setup, it also stops you trying to lift that up, which is what happens if you don't do this, as my dad found out. I had gone to that solution before because of portrait mode and getting fed up with sort of lifting up the strap and getting it in my face and things, whereas this longer strap solution fixes it. It will cost you a bit more because you have to buy an extra set of connectors, but I think I'd say £6-7, and it is a lot better. These straps are really nice. My exposure thing's flashing, so may not show up, but you got a non-slip pad, and then the edges are sewn, whereas on their slightly cheaper models you don't get the edges sewn. The only downside, I guess, is there's no holes for ventilation or bumps. Some of the competitor straps, some of the competitors have that feature, but you've got a stretch there, which is good. As you're walking along, it kind of absorbs the bounce and stops your camera bouncing about and being jarred, and also it jars against you. So I like straps with give. It's just more comfortable long term. The feel of it's really nice. I've had these have worn really well. They get use every few days. All the things about. So yeah, I do recommend Optic stuff. I guess Black Rapid and Carry Speed, Sun Sniper, also very good. Might be a bit better. Definitely are a lot more expensive. So yeah, just a couple of things you could use to like augment your stuff if you're using Sigmas. I use my phone a bit as well, because you got the, in my case I've got a Lumia. I've got a case. It's an S-line case, so it actually looks, on eBay they look awful, but they actually are really quite good. They've got grip on the side, so it feels so much more secure than just the bare phone did. It's had like a slightly slippery texture. Yeah, so sometimes I use this. You also can use this as torch, or like a modelling light, catch light, things like that. Assist light, if you were doing stuff that needed a bit of extra light. I guess you could try using it as the flash as well. Where you'd need to take like a long exposure with the Sigma, and then get somebody else to fire off a picture on here to trigger the flash. You can get a camera grip for this, which is reasonable, so I've got it. But this would give you the ability to shoot high ISO in colour, which is something that you wouldn't really get much out of the Sigma trying to do that. The black and white is fine. But yeah, just some thoughts there. And goodbye.